You put in the exhausting 10-hour days. You cut back where you can. You do exactly what you're supposed to do. And yet, at the end of the month, the bank account is still sitting at nearly zero. It is incredibly easy to look at that balance and diagnose the problem as a simple math error. The assumption is that you just aren't earning enough money to cover the cost of living. But then you get the promotion, the income goes up, and 12 months later, you look at the accounts and realize the financial anxiety hasn't moved an inch. The stress is exactly the same. This diagram illustrates what's really happening. This is System A, the standard economic loop most people are taught. Income flows in at the top, but it immediately drains out the bottom pipe to cover rent, cars, food, and subscriptions. Notice how the reservoir never fills. It's a completely closed loop where 100% of the input is instantly exhausted on outgoing expenses, usually on things that drop in value the moment you buy them. When you operate inside a structure designed this way, chasing a higher salary doesn't create wealth. It just means you are pumping water a little bit faster into a bucket that has no bottom. The separation between financial struggle and actual wealth comes down to how a person views a single incoming dollar. For many, a dollar is the tool to signal success to other people. But using capital to buy designer clothes or an overpriced car payment just to project status guarantees you will never actually have money. You are taking cash that could be put to work and trapping it in liabilities, items that actively lose value every single day until that initial dollar is entirely gone. This visual shows the alternative approach. This is System B. Here, a portion of the incoming cash is diverted into an asset. An asset is simply a mechanism, like a stock index fund or a rental property, that generates its own independent revenue, even while you are fast asleep. Because those assets are producing cash on their own, the machine no longer relies entirely on your physical labor to run. You have separated your income from the limited hours in your day. Real wealth isn't determined by a massive paycheck. It is measured entirely by how much of your capital operates without needing your personal time to sustain it. A common reaction to this is to wait, to say, I will start buying assets when I finally hit a specific salary threshold. But financial discipline scales. If a person cannot manage to save $100 right now, they will absolutely not be able to manage $1,000 later. This graph tracks the long-term impact of a microscopic change. Taking just $5 a day, the cost of a coffee, and directing it into an asset adds up to over $1,800 in a single year. When you stretch that across a 30-year timeline, the math becomes aggressive. Those tiny daily diversions of cash are the required fuel for compound growth. The returns start generating their own returns, pushing the curve vertical. Reaching that curve requires a psychological shift. Stating, I can't afford to invest, shuts the door on the problem entirely. Asking the question, how can I afford to invest, opens the brain up to finding actual solutions. Look at your daily expenses, audit your subscriptions, spot the wasted capital, and redirect it toward building your machine. All the financial math in the world doesn't matter if your daily habits aren't wired to capture those first few dollars. There is no secret vault you stumble into through blind luck. Escaping the cycle is a disciplined behavioral skill. If you ignore the mechanics of how money flows, any raise or bonus you get in the future will simply be absorbed by a slightly more expensive version of your current struggle. But by building the habit of keeping a portion of what you earn and forcing that portion to grow, you are quite literally buying back your own freedom. The process starts today. Take a small amount, invest it, and repeat that action with absolute consistency. Because financial independence isn't measured by the size of the paycheck you bring home, it's measured by exactly how much you keep.